What is smelling at Snake Mountain? What could it be? Could it be a stinkor? Yuck. The smell. Let's check out the new revelation, Stinkor, in this review.
Super Dave here with another Super Dave review. Super Dave here with another exciting review, as today we're looking at another Masters of the Universe Revelation figure, a villain, and it is Stinkor. That's right. Stinkor is looking awesome. Look at him in the box there. He's looking cool. He's got that awesome book in artwork on the side and then that amazing artwork on the back. If you'd like to pause and read his bio, background info there, you can now. Let's go ahead inside
of Snake Mountain
and check out our Stinkor. Literally, we can say that the smell is in the air, and we're going to take a look first of all at Stinkor's accessories. Stink not included. And the first thing that we see that our Stinkor comes with is two sets of hands. He has two weapon gripping hands, one open, relaxed palm out hand, and then one balled up fist hand. So 4 hands total, 2 sets, and he comes with 2 head sculpts. This head sculpt with his eyes wide open, ready to be in attack mode, gritting teeth, and then one with a little bit more relaxed eyes, a little bit more closed eyes, and this little piece will pop off, and he's got kind of an open mouth. He could be speaking. So that little piece right there, the little mask, pops off, and he has this awesome second head sculpt. Really neat. And also he comes with this amazing blue signature shield that Stinkor came with in his vintage and classics incarnation. This one's a little larger, but it's really neat looking, has a little bit of a shimmer to it. And that is about it, other than of course his awesome chest armor. And those tanks on his back are non-removable. They are glued on to him, but they are really cool looking. That's another signature, his oxygen tank there, so he can stand himself. Or maybe that is his tanks full of stench that he can blow out. Not sure. All right, let's take a look now at our Stinkor's Articulation. Taking a look at Stinkor's Articulation, we will make note that there is no stench to this particular action figure's skin or body or plastic like there was with the classics, which we'll look at that in comparisons in just a moment. But looking at these head sculpts, they basically function the same, so I'm just going to show you this one, and it's very unique. It will go up that amount, also look down quite a bit there. It has kind of the ability when you go straight up and down to go side to side, but then if you shift it down like that, his turning side to side, and it popped off there for a minute, but his turning side to side does more of his tilting, his head tilting, which is kind of interesting, and it kind of shifts like that back and forth inside of that. So that's an interesting approach. It's basically because it kind of has that hunchback a little bit up in there, and then when you pop on this head, it just has a little bit of play. So it's, for some reason, mine is shifting like that, but when I shift it forward, when I turn it, it almost does more of the head pivoting, in my opinion, whereas tilted back this way, it's like side to side going back and forth. So anyway, it's a little bit unique in that sense, but that's cool that it shifts down so that he can go inside of there. That way when you do put on the other head sculpt here that has the little mask in it, you see how that looks and fits well, makes it look like that's his, you know, oxygen tank. Now, I found out that one of the reasons that he has a open mouth on this one is there is a peg there, and that plugs into his open mouth, so that stays on. It doesn't fall off like the Classics always wanted to do. So it plugs in. That was smart. Bravo. Moving on to the arms, he gets a full 360 bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, hinges, and swivel at the wrist, all horizontal, no vertical. He has really neat, if you look at it, there's a really nice wash to this loincloth. We're not seeing very much of that in this line, but we do get it here with Stinkor. His belt is pretty plain, but it goes well. It doesn't look as, you know, toyish and cheap as He-Man's. Even though it's plain, it looks good on this figure. Everything is matching together. There is no swivel at this gauntlet and is not removable, but it's definitely there. It's molded in. Got a little paint spillage on mine here, but overall the paint apps are good. He does have that ball joint at the rib cage, but it is limited because of this armor. He's only able to bend forward about that much. He's able to bend back a little bit further, and he has the ability to go side to side, and of course you can turn at the rib cage a little bit, and of course at the waist, which is nice. Legs do full splits, has the thigh cut, has double jointed knees, excellent range. He also has boot cut. He can get full tiptoes. He can go up all the way. Rocker joints, peg hole in the bottom. Excellent articulation like we are seeing with all of these Revelation figures. And I'm really liking this Stinkor. I have to say, I'm thinking I like this Stinkor even better than the Classics one. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and do some comparisons. Now this Stinkor, the Classics one, actually had a smell to his body. That plastic Classics body has his action feature, if you want to call it that, where he stinks. He actually smells like a skunk. And that is so cool because as old as mine is, he still smells. Now, I bought mine used on eBay, and someone actually painted some of the trim bronze and gold color, which I think is really cool. It adds a lot. They painted the blue filter mask over his face. It had a blue one like our Revelation Stinkor's extra head, but someone painted that a goldish bronze color and some trim work, even his scepter, and I like it. I liked that, so that's, just know that if you look up, you know, a classic Stinkor, he's not going to look exactly like this. There has been modifications to the chest armor paint, that little filter on his face and stuff, and I think they even painted, the tops, the gauges on the tank and the band around it. So that gives him a good look, I think. You see his shield has that protruding part in the middle, and it's smaller than our Revelations. Let me go and equip that. He's holding his nose, reason I wanted to. Okay, but let me put his shield on. And there we go. We have our Revelation Stinkor equipped with his shield, and you see it doesn't have that protruding part out in the middle, and it is larger. I like his shield better, actually, than the one that came with Classics. Now, the one thing we are missing with the Revelation Stinkor is this signature scepter type weapon, which I believe was blue. That's been painted as well. So he did not receive his signature Classics weapon or signature type weapon there, but that's okay. There's a comparison to those head sculpts, the one on the right being the Classics, the one on the left being Revelation. I took off the little blue filter mask, and of course both of their eyes have almost cat eyes, kind of like a cat eye look to them. On both, except for I like what they did with the Revelation. They actually made the cat eyes kind of a little lazier looking, a little bit more squinty looking, a little bit more mean maybe a little bit here. So that's cool. He almost looks like in both of these that he's a little bit in shock or that he's a little scared. But I like the intimidation of that face. So I like what they did here. You can see the color differences are just very subtle as far as not looking at the armor, but like the belt and the orange, loincloth part. So there's less orange to this particular one. Almost kind of a mustard yellow, his chest armor area. But that could be modified as well if you're good at painting, if you wanted to. But I think he looks good. I think his color scheme is nice. And I really like this Stinkor. Bravo, Mattel. I actually think I like this Stinkor, especially the head sculpts and the shape and the way this articulation, of course, is. And having the alternate hands as well, better than the classics. May have to do a little bit of modifications on the paint and add some dimension to this one, like someone did this Stinkor for me. So that's cool. And there you have it. Thank you so much for joining us for this review. Please like, subscribe if you haven't, and comment if you've enjoyed it, and come back and see us for another Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse review. And here is some photos in our photo gallery. Be blessed. Mm-hmm.